You've been holding it all together, smiling, even when your soul is shattering in silence, carrying more than anyone knows, more than you were ever meant to carry. You wake up tired, you go to sleep heavier, and still, you pretend it's fine. But what if today isn't just another day of surviving? What if today is the day you finally release what's been draining you? I'm not talking about giving up. I'm not saying walk away. I'm saying surrender it. Let it go. Let it fall from your hands into the hands that never tremble. Let it leave your shoulders and rest on the one who never slumbers. Because God is still in control, still sovereign, still present, and still waiting for you to stop trying to fix what only He can heal. He never asked you to be strong enough. He only asked you to trust. This message is not random. This is a divine interruption. This is for the ones who cry in secret, the ones who smile in public and bleed in private, the ones who keep it all together for everyone else, while silently falling apart inside. Yes, this is for the weary, for the ones holding on with trembling hands. This is for you. If your heart is beating faster right now, it's not a coincidence, it's a calling. Type in the comments, "I trust your timing, God," because there's power in surrender. Heaven responds to faith, and when you release control, God releases peace. Before we dive deeper, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this with someone who needs to let go, because today might just be the beginning of their breakthrough. We plan every step, don't we? We map out the future like architects of our own destiny. We make to-do lists for tomorrow while silently fearing today. We prepare for storms that haven't even formed. And somehow, despite all our planning, all our worrying, life still breaks the script. You think that if you just try hard enough, anticipate everything, stay strong, keep smiling, things will go the way they're supposed to. But deep down, you know it. Control is a beautiful lie. And the more tightly you hold it, the more it slips through your fingers. You weren't made to control outcomes. You weren't called to micromanage every chapter of your story. You were invited to trust the author. But here's the truth no one likes to admit. Control feels safer than surrender. That's why we cling to it. Because releasing control feels like stepping off the edge of a cliff. Yet that very fall is what faith was made for. Have you ever noticed? The more you try to fix it, the more it falls apart. The more you try to force peace, the louder the storm gets. Because peace was never meant to be forced. It was meant to be given. You were never meant to be the hero of every battle. You were meant to rest in the victory that's already been won. The weight you're carrying, you picked it up when God already offered to carry it. Let that sink in. You're fighting for control in a war that's already over. You're stressing over outcomes that heaven has already seen and already overcome. What if the breakthrough you've been praying for is hidden on the other side of letting go? You see, the illusion of control is comforting until it becomes a cage. But once you realize you were never in charge to begin with, that's when you'll breathe again. That's when your soul will finally exhale. Because surrender isn't weakness, it's worship. It's the boldest thing you'll ever do. And the moment you let go, something in the atmosphere starts to shift. But wait, before you move on, what if I told you that what's coming next is not just revelation, it's the reason you've been feeling all this weight in the first place? Don't blink. The next few minutes might open a door in your spirit you didn't know existed. There are things you've been carrying for so long, you forgot they were even there. You've learned to smile with the weight on your chest, to function with pain in your spirit, to live in survival mode like it's normal. But it was never meant to be this way. That anxiety, that heavy cloud that follows you through every conversation, every silent night, every fake smile, that was never yours to own. That fear, that constant whisper telling you you're not enough, that everything will fall apart if you stop holding it together, it didn't come from heaven. It came from a lie, that shame, that voice that replays what you did, what you should have done, what they said, what you wish you could erase. That isn't your identity. It never was. You've been carrying burdens that heaven never handed. You picked them up from expectations, disappointments, betrayals, but God didn't put them in your hands. In fact, He's been waiting patiently for you to release them. You've been trying to prove you're okay, but you don't need to be the strong one. You don't need to be the fixer, the hero, the one who never cracks. Even Jesus wept. Even He felt the weight of this world pressing on Him. And if the Son of God could cry out, why do you feel guilty for being tired? There is a sacred power in admitting, I can't carry this anymore, because that's the exact moment God lifts what's crushing you. Letting go doesn't mean letting it all fall apart. It means placing it in hands that are infinitely stronger than yours. It means saying, God, you take it. I can't anymore. And that is where the shift begins, not when you fight harder, but when you surrender deeper. There's freedom waiting on the other side of your pride. There's peace hiding beneath your performance. There's rest, holy, sacred rest, when you finally stop pretending to be fine. And maybe, just maybe, the reason your soul is so exhausted is because you've been carrying someone else's burden on a journey God never told you to walk alone. But stay with me, because in the next moment, we're not just letting go. We're going to learn how to live in surrender, daily, intentionally, and powerfully. What's coming might just change how you wake up tomorrow. Trust. It sounds beautiful until life makes it hard, until the answer doesn't come, until the door stays closed, until the timing feels off and heaven feels silent. Most people think trust is a one-time decision, like a light switch. Flip it once and everything works. But real trust, holy trust, is a daily surrender. It's not dramatic, it's not loud. It's in the quiet moments when no one is watching. When your heart whispers, God, I give you today, again. And sometimes that whisper feels like a war, because your logic wants control. Your emotions want comfort, but your spirit knows it's time to let go. Trusting God isn't about ignoring your fear. It's about deciding that faith speaks louder. And the irony, the deeper your faith goes, the more invisible the road becomes. You won't always get signs. You won't always feel peace first. Sometimes the peace comes after the step, after the release, after the surrender. Surrender isn't losing. It's finally choosing to stop fighting battles that aren't yours. It's saying, I don't know what tomorrow looks like, but I trust who holds it. And here's what they don't tell you. Trust doesn't always feel good. It doesn't always come with goosebumps or clarity. Sometimes it comes with silence. Sometimes it comes with stillness. But that's where the power is, because peace that makes sense can be explained, but peace that makes no sense, that's the fingerprint of God. There's a kind of strength that only shows up when you're done trying, when you let go of your plan B, C, and D and say, God, if you don't move, I won't move either. That kind of trust moves heaven. That kind of trust makes demons tremble. That kind of trust changes the atmosphere of your entire life. But here's what's wild. The breakthrough isn't just in surrendering once. It's in choosing it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next, until it's not just a moment. It's your rhythm, your lifestyle, your spiritual DNA. Now lean in, because what comes next isn't just about letting go. It's about discovering what God is doing while you wait. What if the silence you've been afraid of is actually where the miracle is hiding? Silence. It can feel like the loudest sound in your soul. You pray and hear nothing. You cry and feel no shift. You wait, and the heavens stay still. But what if the silence isn't punishment? What if it's preparation? You see, God doesn't always shout his plans. He often whispers them in the stillness, where distractions die and your spirit finally listens. We panic in the silence. We assume God has stepped away, but he hasn't moved. He's just working behind the curtain, in places you can't see, in hearts you didn't expect, in timing you couldn't possibly understand. He's orchestrating healing in hidden places. He's rerouting battles you didn't even know were coming. He's aligning divine appointments you're not ready for yet. And that delay you hate so much? It's not a rejection, it's a redirection, a refining, a realignment. Because when God is silent, He's often building something sacred inside you. Patience, depth, trust, vision. Things you can't gain in the rush, only in the quiet. The tears you cry when no one's watching. He sees them all. Not one falls without His. Notice, not one ache is wasted, and no, He's not late. He's never been late. He's precise. He's strategic. He's preparing you for something that requires the wait. But here's the secret most never understand. Silence doesn't mean absence. Silence often means something holy is happening. Something that doesn't need noise to be real. Something that will reveal itself at just the right moment. Let go. Because while you're trying to figure it all out, God is already one step ahead. Already opening doors you haven't seen yet. Already solving problems you haven't faced. Already protecting you from things that never reached you, because He intercepted them in silence. So maybe this quiet season you hate so much is actually sacred ground. Maybe the stillness isn't your prison. Maybe it's your protection. But don't walk away yet, because what comes next might just show you that what felt like silence was actually the sound of heaven building something. Just for you. Rest, it sounds too simple to be powerful, too soft to be spiritual, too quiet to be warfare. But what if rest is the very thing that breaks the chains? The enemy doesn't just want you distracted, he wants you drained, worn out, spiritually, breathless, emotionally numb. Because when you're exhausted, you don't dream, you don't pray bold prayers, you don't hear God clearly, you just survive. But God didn't call you to survival. He called you to surrender, and rest is part of that surrender. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not giving up. Rest is warfare in disguise. Because when you rest, you declare, I am not God, and I don't have to be. You give up the illusion that everything depends on you. You step off the throne and remember who's really sitting on it. True rest says, God, I don't have all the answers, but I trust that you do. And in that moment, the weight lifts. The storm may still rage, but your soul stands unmoved, because peace is never the product of control. Control breeds anxiety, but release births peace. There is a supernatural power that enters your life when you stop running, stop proving, stop hustling to earn what God already wants to give. Rest is the reset your soul has been crying out for. It realigns your perspective. It recenters your heart. It reminds you you're not the source. God is. Even Jesus rested. Not because He was weak, but because rest is divine strategy. So if the enemy has been trying to convince you to keep pushing, keep striving, keep burning out to prove your faith, then maybe the most powerful thing you can do today is stop, be still, exhale, because when you rest, you're not stepping back, you're stepping into God's rhythm. You are no longer reacting to life, you are responding to heaven. And here's the twist most people miss. Your rest is not a retreat, it's a revelation. It reveals who you really trust. It reveals what kingdom you really belong to. It reveals that while others are striving to control their future, you are resting in the hands of the one who already holds it. But don't move yet, because what comes next will seal every truth spoken and lead you into the most important decision you'll make today. So here we are, a sacred threshold, not just the end of a video, but the beginning of something eternal. Heaven is watching, your heart is open. The question is no longer, can you handle it? The question is, will you release it? Let go of the weight. Let go of the need to understand. Let go of the fear of what's next, because the moment you release control, you invite divine intervention. God is not asking you to figure it all out. He's asking you to trust that He already has. He's not waiting on your perfection. He's waiting on your surrender. Today is not just another day. It's not ordinary. It's appointed. It's strategic. It's holy. This very moment, heaven leans in. God extends his hand and he says, "Child, give it to me. Give me the burden. Give me the pain. I never designed you to carry this alone." So now it's your turn. Will you release it, not later, but right now? Will you dare to believe that letting go is the beginning of breakthrough? Will you finally surrender control and receive the peace that's been chasing you all along? If your heart is trembling, if your soul is stirred, that's not emotion, that's God calling you higher. Type in the comments boldly, prophetically, "God, today I let go of control." Let that be your declaration. Let it echo in heaven. Let it shake hell. And if this message pierced your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like so others see it. Share it with someone carrying too much. And subscribe, because every night you deserve to be reminded that your story is still being written by the hands of the Almighty. Let go. Trust deeper, rest fully, rise stronger. This is not the end, it's the turning point, and God is already ahead of you.